Ladies and gentlemen, it's been brought to my attention. You guys have been asking for a long time on my thoughts, opinions of the ban list. All I can say, Master Duel came out nearly 3 years ago in January. And I was a Red Eyes player, you know. I started off playing Red Eyes Black Dragon and everyone was mentioning to me about Dragoon and when is it going to be unbanned. And I'm going to be honest, how do you lot feel about it? For me, I don't think it's massively overpowered in terms of the decks we currently have in the current state of meta for Master Duel. But considering we have a lot of interesting cards, the good thing about Nightmare Mermaid, if you're unfamiliar with what it does, if this card is linked summon, you can discard a card, special summon a Nightmare monster. If you are running the Nightmare Orcust, etc. combo, you can pull off some pretty decent plays. The good thing is Iblis is banned, so we don't have to worry too much about Iblis, solely for the fact that used to... The opponent would run Nightmare Mermaid and Orcus to be able to get you into a U-Link, and then from that situation have Iblis on your side of the field, and because you were U-Linked, you cannot link off the Iblis, so you're pretty much left stuffed. So it's going to be interesting to see how people want to utilize that, because I have seen some Orcus in ranked when we were doing the Road to Diamond with Shining Sarcophagus. Returning back to Shining Sarcophagus. If Dragoon... No, that's not if. Dragoon is now being released to 3. Yeah. And you know how crazy that is. Let's like, look, literally, everything's at 3. It's going to fuck everything up in Master Duel, and I love it. Whether or not I'd run Dragoon at 3, I don't think it's too bad, considering you can run things like Unicorn, Kashtira Unicorn, that is, and then you can target and banish it. You could probably run Ghost Reaper. Ghost Reaper, you can basically get rid of a card from your extra deck, which rips it from your opponent's deck. Very good against a Yubel build as well if you're dealing with Phantom Yubel. Obviously, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon will be interesting. Does this mean that I return back to running Shining Sarcophagus with a Red Eyes Dark Magician type of fusion build to play into Dragoon? It's going to be interesting. Like, to be honest, I feel like Master Duel needs this kind of shake-up just to spice everything up, because for so long it's just been kind of the same shit, you know? And it's nice to finally see something, you know, hit the game like Nibiru. But yeah, seeing everything at 3 is pretty solid. If you're unfamiliar with what Dragoon does, basically it's basically impenetrable. Run Kaijus. Kaiju's probably going to be the best out for it, but anyway. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. New player can target this card with card effects. During your main phase, you can destroy one monster your opponent controls, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. You can use this effect a number of times per turn, up to the number of normal monsters use of fusion material for this card. Preferably, you're going to run Dark Magician or standard basic Red Eyes with it to be able to benefit off of that, along with Verte. The interesting thing is we get to experience Verte with Dragoon, and I'm glad Master Duel has allowed that, you know. So that's not all. Once per turn when a card or effect is activated, you can discard one card and negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card, and if you do, this card gains 1,000 attack. Is it going to be massively bad? No. Like, literally, mate, we're in a point of Master Duel where we play against Tempire, Yubel. There is so many decks out there that are cracked as shit. Like Borrelend. You know what? Psychic and Punisher. These are constant cards which are pretty much on the same level as Dragoon regardless. So, in my opinion, you could just run 3 Kaijus. If you run level 8s, if you run Blue Eyes, run a couple of Kaijus as well. You know? If you run Kashtira, you can run a couple of Kaijus in there. You know, there's decks out there to utilize the gameplay and make Red Eyes Dark Dragoon very counterproductive. Personally, I'd say DPE was more of a threat than what Dark Dragoon is, but that's my opinion. Obviously, let me in the comments below what you guys think. But I think it's going to be an interesting point of Master Duel to be able to experience, obviously, Nightmare Mermaid as well as Goblin. You know, gives the Orcust players a bit more support as well. If you're unfamiliar with what an Orcust is, basically, you have Orcust Nightmare, and then you can lead into... I believe, look, I've never ran them, but I believe that you go Harp Horror into Symbol, So you can banish this card from your grave, special summon an Orcus monster from your deck, except Harp. Also, you can special summon except Dark monsters. So if you do run Yubel, you probably could hybrid it with, obviously, Orcus or any other Dark type deck. And then also by special summoning Symbol, you can banish the card and tag one Orcus monster in your grave, special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon the rest of the except Dark. Yet again, Dark. So yeah, these are kind of options to play into the Link plays. Because if you summon, play into the Nightmare Mermaid, you can discard a card, special summon a Nightmare, leading into Harp Horror. Harp Horror links into... I think you go into the Link monster here, and then you can take one of your banished machine monsters, shuffle it into the deck, and then set an Orcus spell or trap. But I'm not too sure if you go with a field spell first, or you go for protection on traps. Like, I haven't run Orcus. It might be a possibility there's something that we choose to run in the future. I don't know. But yeah, the only card I'm really familiar with is Dingarusu. So it will be interesting to see how it plays out, because you would want to play into Nightmare Goblin, and if the card is linked summoned during your turn, you could discard a card, and if the card was co-linked when this effect was activated, you could draw one card. Also, during your main phase this turn, you can normal summon one monster from your hand to use on this card points to. If you are going to be going for the Nightmare play, there are other hybrids you could run, whether it's adding Fire Kings, whether it's adding Snake Eyes, because those cards will still benefit off of the normal summon. You could literally... The only downfall to it is you are locked into darks, or dark types. There was the Ibli play where you could special summon the Ibli to your opponent's side of the field, and then if you were able to set up a U-Link, which I think would probably be Nightmare Mermaid into Goblin. Goblin sets up to something in the middle, and then you'd kind of lead round, which would shut down the extra deck. Not the extra... Well, in theory, yes. They wouldn't be able to special summon a Link monster, and to be able to get rid of Ibli, you need a Link monster. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to not keep dead air. I'm just trying to spit it all out as fast as I can. But yeah, realistically, in terms of how I'm going to go about this, I'm not too sure. I don't know whether to obviously open the pack, potentially build Orcus on the side with Dark Dragoon as well, or save our gems for Fiendish when Fiendish ends up coming. But obviously, I don't know what you guys prefer. Do you prefer me to run a rogue deck similar to like Shining Sarcophagus? Obviously, it'd be different now because we have Dark Dragoon, but yet again, like I said before, Dark Dragoon isn't that fantastic. It would still possibly be a brick, because Shining Sarcophagus was a hardcore brick. Or would you like to see me play Orcus? Preferably, this is what normally comes down with the new set, is whether or not we build a new deck and then run it for the season to get to Master, because we achieved Shining Sarcophagus to Master last season, or we hold off and wait. But obviously, it really comes down to you lot of the audience. You guys obviously support me on my channel for obviously watching the content. So preferably, I want to do what benefits you lot. We've got a simple maintenance, which is going to be rooms, match history, etc. Other than that, this is all going to go down on the 6th of December, so expect a live stream covering this as well. We'll play it live. We're going to have a look at some deck builds online to see how Dragoon implements it in with Shining Sarcophagus, and then potentially look at what cards we need if we were to build Orcus, which is something I can do prior to the stream, and then when the Nightmare cards drop, we can implement them in. It depends on how expensive it is, but look, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Personally, I think it's a good thing. We need like a little shake up in Master to keep it a little bit exciting. But thank you guys for watching. Take care of yourselves. And are you going to run Dragoon at 3? Or are you just going to run it at 1 or 2? I think 2's an effective point. Peace.